You might start just by receiving what's coming in through seeing. If you want to keep the eyes open, just noticing that seeing is happening, and then noticing color, texture, shape, light. We can also do this with the eyes closed, right? We can notice that seeing is happening even with the eyes closed. And then perhaps tuning in as we're noticing what is pleasant. It might be easy to notice what's not so pleasant. It often is, whether we're turning into um, seeing or some other part of our experience. We're often drawn to notice what is not right, what is difficult, what is painful, what is unpleasant. And so it can take a little bit of effort, not too much, not tightening, but just an intention to turn the awareness, the attention to what is not unpleasant, perhaps even pleasant, right? So neutral might be not pleasant or not unpleasant, but even we might notice what is good. It has a little flavor of goodness, of okay-ness. For me, I really can notice that distinction when I'm paying attention to the visual field, because I can see, oh, these flowers on my desk is so beautiful. And it just immediately, there's a sense of pleasure in gazing at them. And then I can look over here and there's just a pile of stuff. And the mind might be like, oh, I have to deal with that. And there's a kind of tension. So I can start to see really obviously how seeing can move towards pleasure or move towards unpleasant. I don't have to fix that. I can just notice and then choose kind of accordingly. So we can take our time here. Perhaps it's just enjoyable to kind of continue to work with the visual field, and that is grounding. Or you might find, especially with that kind of theme of Snuggly Sunday, that the eyes want to close, that there's a more restful space with the eyes closed, and that's fine too. So choose what's suitable for you. Perhaps a soft gaze. And we can tune in to the other senses as well. Perhaps the sense of sitting or standing or lying down, noticing the body in contact with whatever is holding you, furniture, floor, the earth itself holding us, holding you in space. And perhaps sensing into that support of the furniture, the floor, the earth, and allowing your body, your mind, your heart to kind of settle into that support a little bit more, just seeing what that's like, if it's possible. Again, I might say this and you might be like, I don't know how to do that. And that's totally fine. It's just inclining the mind. Can I soften? Can I be held a little bit more in my experience? Can I feel into the support that is here? Any amount. And when we're tuning into the physical field, the physical sensations, similarly, the mind might most obviously notice what is uncomfortable, what is difficult. And that's a natural tendency of the mind, something that we don't have to get uptight about or fix, but we can notice how the mind gets drawn in quite easily. And so instead, it may be helpful to look for what is not unpleasant, what is okay, what is easeful or easeful enough or even pleasant. Perhaps that sense of resting wherever you are has a pleasant tone. Perhaps the breath, tuning in to that gentle rhythm wherever you feel it, has a pleasant tone to it or an okayness to it. Mm. Maybe sensing into the physical body like this is just difficult right now. We feel agitated or we're just dealing with a lot of pain. It's not so easy to find okayness here in the body. That happens. That happens at times. And so we can look elsewhere. We can see what else is here. What else through the senses might be available? Perhaps hearing feels okay, feels easeful. And tasting and smelling may be more subtle right now, but they're also available to us. When we're practicing in this way and kind of grounding and orienting towards what's okay, what's good enough, doesn't suck, what it might even be pleasant. It's not a turning away from what is difficult. It's not about pushing away or denying or ignoring or burying. Instead, we do this to help to balance the mind, to help ground us, resource us, so that we might more fully be awake and alive in our lives. So we have the resilience to meet what is difficult. So as you shift the attention, as you turn towards, as you look for what's easeful or okay, see if you can let go of the pushing away or trying to fix what's not okay, what's unpleasant, what's difficult. It's just this subtle orientation attitude. That's here. That pain, that's discomfort, that agitation, it's here. Okay, I see you. And then we turn the attention towards something okay, something good enough in this moment. Resting the mind, the heart, the body with this sense of okayness. At any point, we can start again. We can just come back to something really simple, inviting some ease, some relaxation in the body and the mind. Sometimes opening the eyes or closing the eyes or shifting the posture can help us begin again. Inclining the mind towards what's okay and easeful in this moment without pushing away what is complex and difficult, unpleasant. We start to understand deeply that life is both. Having a body is both, and everything in between. The mind experiences great sorrows and great happiness, clarity and confusion. And that is the nature of being human. Inviting some ease, some relaxation into the body, into the mind, the heart, any amount. Acknowledging what might be difficult or unpleasant. And turning towards, opening up, inviting in what is okay, what is not painful, what might be joyful or pleasant, or just lighten the heart, uplift the heart a bit, or might just be neutral, right? Neutral, we don't have to ignore that if what we're finding is just okay, it's fine. Not bad, not good, it's fine. That can also be a really nourishing place to rest. as we build capacity, as the mind settles, we might find that there is this kind of spacious allowing that can turn towards and start to include what is difficult. And this can feel like the mind gets pulled into something, a thought or an emotion or a difficult sensation. And the mindfulness continues, it's strong. There's this kind curiosity, there's a sense of open heartedness. We can include what might be more difficult. Being with a difficult sensation or a painful emotion, or recognizing kindly agitation or difficulty in the mind. This is a dance. This is where our practice over time, wisdom and discernment supports us. We might touch in, we might include, we might feel and be with what is difficult just for a moment and then come back to what is more easeful, what is okay. Or we might find that we can spend some time, a kind of friendship, a friendliness with what is more difficult. Just knowing it as it is with kindness, being interested in its arising, its changing, its passing. And in these last few minutes, Taking some time to acknowledge your efforts, intention to show up, to cultivate kindness and interest, open heartedness. There's no need to evaluate, and as we acknowledge our efforts, we don't have to decide, was it good enough? It just is. Life is, and sometimes it's easy and flows, and sometimes it's challenging and arduous. And so we can just really acknowledge our good intentions and our efforts in showing up. Good enough, totally good enough. And it's not just us. We don't really do it alone, right? So we can also tune back into that sense of support, perhaps appreciation for the earth, for whatever brings us delight or pleasure, beauty. Or perhaps we can think of the people in our lives who support us in practice, this community, all of us showing up to bolster each other. And we can consider the world, right? All the beings in the world who might benefit, who we want to benefit from these practices, from our practice, who do benefit. And so, maybe there's somebody in mind or some people in mind or particular beings who come to mind that you really want to give the gift of your practice to in a way. You can just really imagine all of the merit, all of the goodness that we're cultivating together, really just sending that out wholeheartedly. And so I'll dedicate the merit in this way. And you can just keep considering how that's alive for you, where you're wanting that to go. And with that any goodness, all of the goodness that we've cultivated together in our practice be of benefit, not just to us, not just to our families and friends and communities, but to all beings. May it ripple out in all directions so that all beings, seen and unseen, may experience the goodness, may experience freedom from suffering, safety, happiness, well being, freedom from greed, hatred, and delusion. And we wish that all beings, wherever they are, may be truly free. And so please feel free to close the practice in a good way with a deep breath or a bow or some other marking. Thank you.
That's what's up right there.